Hi guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. It's actually 8 o'clock at night. Not much got done around here today. Had to go to town for appointments and I got home, did a little bit of work on the computer and went to have a nap. Not a good idea to nap that late, but anyway, Chris is cooking bacon on the outdoor grill because it's too hot to cook in the kitchen. We've got two different forecasts, either sun for another 4 days or rain, thunderstorms Friday and Saturday. Today's Wednesday. So we're hoping for rain. But before I get started with today's video, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with your family and friends. We really appreciate it. I just wanted to show you, I was complaining because the chickens keep coming in the garden now, of course. It's right by the chicken coop. What do you expect? So Chris, while I was napping, started getting the electric fence set up around it here. So I come outside and there are chickens in the garden because they came up here where it ends and just went in the garden. So I just chased a couple of them out. But I thought I would do a little update on the garden just because, again, I did video of the tomato plants yesterday and I'm just shocked at the amount of growth every single day. I really need to have supper and then get these tomato plants trimmed because they're getting so big it's going to be hard to even get the tomato cages over top of them. And that's going to have to be done, I think. Unless we figure out something else for them to grow onto, but I think the tomato cages are going to have to be done. But these are crazy. The bottom branches now that need to be taken off are huge. And you see they don't bend as well when they get that big, so I'm going to have to get the cutters to do all of these bottom ones because they're so thick now. So I've got to get that done. Stop being so lazy. Anyway, that I've got to get done because these first two plants down here, they said they get to be 6 to 8 feet tall. And they did in Ontario, but look at this thing. I mean, that was only a few days ago, maybe a week, that I trimmed it and it looked like it was Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. So these have got to get done. The two on the end, the one's a beefsteak. Oh, look, a baby tomato. That one is the beefsteak, I think. And this one is the one with the cherry tomatoes. One or the other, either that or reverse that. But you can see how this plant is not going to hold the weight of tomatoes. No way. So that's got to be done. And I actually thought maybe about using the pieces of wire that we had circling the fruit trees in the orchard because they're so strong. Like just bend them straight and put posts in and zip tie them to the posts. That way you're not wrecking them or changing them and they can still be used like that again. So again, you can see a couple of days and the beets are like huge, absolutely huge. These are the little ones that were free. But the one thing those nasty chickens are doing is ripping my garlic and my onions to pieces. They were obviously pecking this cucumber plant too, but look at the mess. Yeah, I think this is onions. So they're just trashing these. So I'm not happy. And then I told those chickens that whoever wrecks the garden goes into the freezer, but I guess when you get chickens that all look alike, it's hard to know who did it. You can see the carrots are actually being overtaken by whatever this is now. squash or cucumber. I mean, this thing is, there's a carrot row here, and what was supposed to be the spinach row over there, and look at these things. Like, I had no idea they would get that big. Again, shows what I know. But if I stand back, the rows are 3 feet apart, so that is actually spreading more than 6 feet apart now. Like, seriously, do they need a bed of their own? A greenhouse of their own? Sheesh. I sort of twisted, Chris did get more wire today, so I sort of twisted the beans around each other, the taller ones, until we can get more wire up for these. And of course that was supposed to be, that was on the list for today. We went to Bob and Rita's for coffee after going to town, and then came home and started napping. You can see now, look at all the zucchini in there. It's just full of zucchini. I'm just amazed at the changes, like every single day. And you all know by now, it certainly doesn't take too much to get me excited. Pile of zucchini. Well, this is going to be one heck of a pile of zucchini. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it all, but this one is full of zucchini too. Gonna have a lot of zucchini. And of course, for me, that means you make zucchini cake or something like that. These beets at the end are doing really well too. Huge plants. And again, if you stand back and look at those, this end is zucchini. I just can't believe the size of the plants. And of course, the lettuce is huge. The beans are really growing well now that they have this string to grow onto. Again, I just find it so amazing to look at the way they grow. Look at that one right there. It's circled around and around and around the wire. And these ones here. I just find that amazing. Again, it doesn't take much to amuse me, I guess. But, you know, like I said, we were late getting this up, but look at this here. And this one right here, like, you look at the way it's going up the vertical string and is attached to it. This one here should be, it's attaching to that one when it should be attaching to the wire. Oh my goodness, they get attached to each other. You can sort of see what, oh, my gloves. Chris is trying to head the chickens off here by putting this out like this. Hopefully they'll just stay on the side. They do run through it when it's electric sometimes, but hopefully this will keep them out of the garden. And they'll just go, you know, on the other side of the driveway or out back like they have been. He just pounded a couple of posts for this row of beans. And there's 3 wires here. I know it's hard to see them on the camera, but got 3 wires strung for that. No, I didn't get the tomato plants done. Yikes. I better get those done tomorrow for sure. You see how the chickens all sort of start to congregate closer to the run at night. He's just stringing some wire higher up on this first row of beans. I've got to mow in here because some of these poplars are starting to grow in here. I'll do that when I get the the DR out. So yeah, I got some wire today, and he's just stringing that up for this first row of beans. I can't help but laugh at this row. Just Just crazy. I mean, it's almost over to the what was supposed to be the onion row. Onion or garlic, I can't remember now. Anyway, yeah, they're all starting to head in. They had wire on sale, 2 rolls for the price of 1, so that's good. Always use that stuff. Look how much the dirt is beaten down here where the chickens were. I don't think it would be fair to keep them in here if they can't, you know, it's nice to let them go. They have fresh bugs, and look at the little devils have dug all the way around that tree again. That poor little baby Christmas tree. The neighbors are staring again. Very rude. But yeah, this first batch of little trees that we did are doing so well. That's one of the later ones. It's a little dry, but I think it's going to make it, probably because it was in the shade. There's the neighbors all being rude and staring again. Anyway, I left the hose out back running on one of the cherry trees. Got the herbs and the greenhouse and the strawberries done. So I guess it's safe to leave this crew here unsupervised. Hey, Rusty. What do you think? You're so pretty. Yes, you are. You're so pretty. His tail feathers are really coming out now. Yeah. You can sort of see what, oh, my gloves. Chris is trying to head the chickens off here by putting this out like this. Hopefully they'll just stay on the side. They do run through it when it's electric sometimes, but hopefully this will keep them out of the garden, and they'll just go, you know, on the other side of the driveway or out back like they have been. He just pounded a couple of posts for this row of beans. And there's 3 wires here. I know it's hard to see them on the camera, but it's got 3 wires strung for that. No, I didn't get the tomato plants done. Yikes. I better get those done tomorrow for sure. You see how the chickens all sort of start to congregate closer to the run at night. He's just stringing some wire higher up on this first row of beans. I've got to mow in here because some of these poplars are starting to grow in here. I'll do that when I get the or the DR out. So yeah, I got some wire today, and he's just stringing that up for this first row of beans. I can't help but laugh at this row. Just crazy. I mean, it's almost over to the what was supposed to be the onion row. Onion or garlic, I can't remember now. Anyway, yeah, they're all starting to head in. They had wire on sale, 2 rolls for the price of 1, so that's good. Always use that stuff. Look how much the dirt is beaten down here where the chickens were. I don't think it would be fair to keep them in here if they can't, you know, it's nice to let them go. They have fresh bugs, and look at the little devils have dug all the way around that tree again. That poor little baby Christmas tree. The neighbors are staring again. Very rude. But yeah, this first batch of little trees that we did are doing so well. That's one of the later ones. It's a little dry, but I think it's going to make it, probably because it was in the shade. There's the neighbors all being rude and staring again. Anyway, I left the hose out back running on one of the cherry trees. Got the herbs and the greenhouse and the strawberries done. So I guess it's safe to leave this crew here unsupervised. Hey, Rusty. What do you think? You're so pretty. Yes, you are. You're so pretty. His tail feathers are really coming out now. Yeah. Yeah, I got a bunch more of those peas trained onto the string and the wire. Listen to our friends across the road. They were louder a minute ago. Coyotes and cows. If anybody knows what this is about, I think this was supposed to be broccoli. Why is this happening? Why is there this massive plant and no broccoli? I mean, there's the one next to it, so why did that one get so big and this, or little? This one's so little. This one's so little. This one's doing the same thing. But I'm yet to see any broccoli. If anybody knows the answer to that one of life's great mysteries for me right now. Because I sure don't know. Again, look at the vine coming out of the end of that squash. Those are the ones I planted from my kitchen, from one squash. But you can look down this tomato row and see these plants are not going to hold the weight of a pile of Roma tomatoes. That's for sure. So I might even try and get the cages on them tomorrow. I don't know if I'll get them trimmed after I eat or not. I was going to do some more editing. But I went into the greenhouse today to check on the plants in there, and everything was dried right out. I guess I must have forgot to water them the last couple of days. And it hasn't been as hot as that first heat wave, but it has been really hot. The little chickies are doing really well. Like, look at their wings just in the last couple of days. I think they're 7 days old today. So you can see that one's yellow with white wings. This one's yellow with black in its wings. And the black ones are showing some distinct coloring. These ones, we always worry because they look like they're dead when they're sleeping. But yeah, big differences in the wings. They're 7 days old today. A couple of little guys over there by themselves. But yeah, they're doing really well. Anytime you come in here, they wake up and start wandering around. Kind of like babies. Look at that little guy behind the thermometer. It is actually 90 in here without the heat lamp on. So it's nice and warm for them. And we haven't lost a single one this time. So just looking at the chickens to see if they're down here. They love to go down the side of the sea containers now and forage in the tree line there. I am gonna have to, after supper, I have to get the stuff in the greenhouse watered and the fruit trees outside and the herbs and everything, because I think they're gonna be pretty dried out. There's that crazy bird up there that keeps attacking me. Horrible, horrible bird. He's got a nest in the square part of the 20-footer there. You can see his nest. And he keeps diving at me, and he clawed my head the other day. It's like, seriously, I live here. So not too happy with that bird. I haven't even checked the tomatoes for a couple, or strawberries for a couple days. Look at that. 2 whole strawberries. Again, epic fail on the strawberries, I'm afraid. Ouch. The thistles out here are crazy too. 1 more strawberry there. Lots of blossoms. These cherries have gone really dark, but they didn't get bigger after we planted it. You know, and we planted it just before that drought, or heat, I should say. Look at this guy's got a couple of cherries hanging in there. But the leaves are super, super healthy, and lots of new branches. So again, one lady laughed at us when we were buying that cherry tree, saying, oh, good luck, that it would never grow, even though we only buy the ones that say they're tolerant of the cold. You know, we're really careful. There's another one in there. I sprayed these trees last week, and I sprayed all of them. Again, it's a big mystery to me why none of these trees have apples on them. If anybody knows the answer to that, feel free to tell me. You can see there's a lot less being chewed on these trees now after spraying them. There were a lot of leaves chewed. I may well have lost all of my blueberry plants because of that heat. This tree is super healthy looking too. Still getting new leaves, even, you know, in the middle of July. But the gooseberries, I think, are going to be okay. Can't see them for the grass. Another thing I got to do is get out here and mow again. But the blueberries really got burnt up in that heat. But I haven't been out here in a couple days. Look at their new leaves now. So hopefully they were established enough. Look at all the new leaves on these ones. So I was afraid they were dead, but they're all getting brand new leaves, which is good. Happy about that. I haven't checked them in a couple of days. So you can see the dark cherries on this one as well, like that other tree. Don't know why that one is sort of like a stick tree and this one is like a shrub. Again, it's all mysteries, but you can see how much dead stuff I need to trim out of there. Oh, and I haven't checked the herbs in a couple of days either. The basil's looking really good. Really good, but I've got to get the seeds pinched off. Looks like something might be eating the basil now. Nobody eats the basil but me, so might have to spray this stuff too. With one of those insecticidal soaps. Can't believe that sage plant, how healthy it is. And look at this. I meant to show this the other day. You can see how much the roses are growing up, the wild roses in here again. So this is, like I said, I gotta keep cutting them in here because they are so thorny. So they're, I mean, it's basically like they're, you know, I'm mowing them instead of grass in this area. So I'm gonna have to get out here with the DR again and get that all done. Beautiful sunset today. Almost sunset. But yeah, you can see here where I've mowed them off. They have to be mowed again. I've got to keep that done so that this area stays clear. And in here too. They're really bad further down, but look at this, how much they've grown here. And I don't want them here. So we got to get this brush and garbage burned too, but can't do that when it's this dry. There's a lot of grass and everything here, but the grass is getting really dry, so we don't want to take the chance on lighting anything right now. We do the garbage in that fire pit thing, but It's steel, so we don't mind doing it. Chris has got some to burn there. We just burn paper and stuff, that's all. You can see this stuff needs to be pinched off too. This basil. I'm going to try really hard to keep this growing in the greenhouse this year. Last year, like I said, I put it on the ground, and I think if I put them in the planters like that one again, but don't put them right down on the ground, they might survive. That's what I'm hoping for. This tree, again, I wish I knew when I did this, but look at that little tree. It's got, I don't know, a couple inches of new growth on it. And I just find that amazing too. That's the one that was beside the big apple tree outside. The carrots are really taken off in here, and those onions, those are the red onions. Look at these crazy pepper plants. These are the ones that I did from seed, and these seeds were also from the kitchen, from a pepper. And this one is absolutely just loaded with cayenne peppers. Loaded. So I think I'm going to string them up to dry and maybe put them in the 20-footer. But yeah, really happy with that little apple tree too. We gotta get these little evergreens planted as well. But I've got to turn the camera off for now and go eat and go get this stuff watered, because it is super dry. Even the these little tiny pepper plants, look at one died. These two are okay, but so luckily these are in bigger pots, but these are really dry now. That carrot one seems to have some moisture in it, but the pepper plants are droopy. All this stuff needs some water, and I have not done that for at least a couple of days. So I'm gonna go eat and then water these plants. The potato plants too. Chris has been watering them with the sprinkler here and there, and the potatoes are just going crazy too. There's actually blossoms on the plants now, but they're getting really huge. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the, like, I don't know if we need to keep adding more hay and straw, or what we need to do here. Like I said, this is also an experiment. We will add more at the end of the season after we harvest the potatoes, because some of the grass did come through here. But some of these plants are just starting, and then some of them down there are really huge. This first row did really, really well. This is the second row, third row. This one here, these ones here are big. Fourth row, fifth row, and sixth row. So yeah, they're right down to the very end. You can see them growing. I can hear the coyotes again, but they're a little further away. And again, my pear trees, no fruit this year. If any of you smarter people know what that's all about. I did treat this pear tree. I cut it the way the lady from the greenhouse told Chris to. Dip the cutters in Javex. I think I must have missed this little branch. And she said to cut the branch, dip the cutters in Javex, cut the next branch, dip them in Javex again. A lot of new branches on this tree. This one could be cut off. So again, I need to get some pruning done and haven't done it. So that really needs to be done. There's always something that needs to be done. Now look at the sun over the trees. It's going to be a beautiful sunset today, that's for sure. Oh, look at the chickens all over here now. I really enjoy seeing them being able to just run around wherever they want. And we were a little worried about it at first, but it gets dark. Even if we're inside, Chris comes out and checks on them, and they've all gone inside. So the chickens are smarter than us, apparently. So these little trees that I thought were dead, I think this thing has grown at least 6 inches since I thought they were all dead. So pretty happy about that. Chris put root starter on them like late in the spring, and they seem to take off after that. So that again is a surprise to us. Lots of surprises for us. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat and come back out later and get the watering and then maybe even those tomatoes cut. The herbs are looking so awesome. I'm just basically leaving this hose on each tree for a few minutes because it's such a pain to stand there and hold it. Just looking at the neighbors again. I thought I'd be able to see the sun go down, but I guess not. It's supposed to be hot for another 3 days according to one forecast. Really hot. And the ground's getting really dry. I think Bob said his hay hasn't grown for a month. So anyway, very uneventful day. Sort of feel like didn't do anything today, but the heat, like I've said before, it's too hard on us old people, and we're more concerned now about getting stuff watered this time of night than anything else. I would sure hate to lose any of these fruit trees because of this heat this year, especially after they've all done so well. So I'm going to get all these fruit trees watered. So happy my blueberry plants aren't dead. And I'm just burning the garbage because the bad little dog was getting into it. Didn't get the dishes done. I feel like such a bum. Anyway, tomorrow I'll try and get going early, get the dishes done. Mind you, I have a virtual meeting in the afternoon, so that interrupts the day, but get going, get the dishes done, get the kitchen cleaned up. I found a place for the jam, and try and get something done, get that lumber out of the way, and maybe something done in the tiny house. That would be nice. I feel like now if I'm not getting something done in there, I'm really disappointed. So, and again, that's going to mean another trip to the city, getting electrical boxes and ABS for the plumbing pipes, that sort of thing. I need to redraw my drawing on graph paper, and yes, I only have it on graph paper. I'm still doing that. I'm looking for an easy program. I've tried one out, but it doesn't have any of the proper placements for furniture, kitchen cabinets, or anything, so I'm not happy with that one. I would like to do it on the computer, and then you have like a virtual of the drawing to the tiny house. But anyway, we'll see if we can't get some work done tomorrow. Again, the next 3 days is going to be really hot, so I just don't know. And Chris is 5 years older than me too, so I guess I can't complain when the heat bothers me so much. He's even more old than me. So, get these trees watered, and that bird was diving at me again when I came out here. It's like, seriously. It's like that Alfred Hitchcock movie, getting kind of crazy here. But I think that's going to be it for today. Boring day. Doesn't seem like I got a lot done, but tomorrow's another day, and we'll get something done tomorrow, I think. You can see this nesting box and this one. The golf ball's hidden in the straw, but they have sort of been ruffling around in there. Uh-oh. Rusty's doing naughty things. Some of them are starting to go in already. I think the smart ones go in and get the top rung. I think that's what they're doing. You better run, Rusty. Yeah, you get 24 girls. to beat to the highest rung. And you do pick on them. The big bully, you're supposed to protect them. Stay out of the garden, you guys. Anybody else? Rusty. Anybody else pecks my garlic and onions, goes in the freezer. Somebody didn't get the memo. Chris is filling up the nesting boxes more. And he's put a golf ball in each one because somebody told him that was a good thing to do. And we can see every day that they've been in there sort of ruffling up the straw. So I've just asked him to put some more in to make it fluffier because us girls like fluffy places. Yeah. Rusty still isn't gone in. Almost everybody's gone in and is jostling for their spot. See him? And one hen seemed to be coming out. We keep thinking he's missing, and he's out here all by himself after dark. So the other night Chris just left the door open, and in the morning he was in here. So they've all gone in. They're all jostling for their place. One chicken trying to figure out what's going on. You're gonna be the low man on the totem pole tonight, girl. Yep. I think we better do a count. Yeah, they're all jostling for a spot. Rusty's gonna go beat up on some girls to get a spot. They like to go in behind there too. I still think Chris should put a perch up there, but he doesn't want them going over to the shelf. So I don't know. I think there should be something up higher. And he's thinking about putting 4 more nesting boxes in, but I'm not sure where they would go. So maybe underneath that shelf, and then they would get pooped on. What do you think, Rusty? Everybody's getting tucked in. Pretty funny to watch them. They seem to quiet down too after we turn the light out and go away. So they don't make so much noise. Oh my goodness, yeah, fisticuffs trying to jostle for a spot there on the top row. Wow. My goodness. Probably should do a count, just in case. Well guys, I think that's it for today. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with your family and friends. I'm distracted because I'm looking to see where the bacon is. Where's my bacon? And also look at the chickens going all the way out to the potato patch. I don't know if you can see them or not. Anyway, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time.